How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here. Hope you guys had a great weekend and are ready to get back into it. I for sure am, and in today's video, we're going to break down the market, some stocks I'm looking at, my game plan overall for this week, and I also want to break down the futures, so sit back, relax, go down below, get your 2 stocks from Webull. All you have to do is use my link, deposit $100, and we each get 2 stocks valued all the way up to $1,600, and you could also check out my Patreon if you guys want to keep up with all my real-time moves in the stock market, and that is also linked right down below. So let's get right into it. Last week, like you guys probably remember, but if you don't, I'll refresh your memory. SPY had a very strong Thursday and Friday, and we hit a brand new all-time high on Friday, a little bit above $427 per share. And you guys can see the inverse head and shoulder that we did call out last week, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, that ended up playing out as we broke out above $424 on Thursday. You guys can see on Thursday pre-market we gapped up, and Friday, obviously, like I said, we hit an all-time high from there. And the whole week last week was great. I mean, it's on the back of the Fed meeting, or it was on the back of the Fed meeting. You know, we got, James Bullard, I believe his name was. He also commented on the fact that, we might see tapering, or rather an interest rate hike sooner than expected in late 2022. The market's kind of dumped on that news. And then on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, on Monday, we ended up hitting a low of 412 pre-market, and it was just up from there. So all of last week, we saw a rebound. And again, the inverse head and shoulder we called out ended up playing out. And QQQ also hit an all-time high last week. Not on Friday, but that was actually on Thursday. We hit a little bit above $351 per share. And if you guys didn't know, this is the ETF that tracks one of the most popular ETFs that tracks the S&P 5, or not the S&P, the NASDAQ 100. And this one is doing a bit better. I mean, it didn't get hit as hard after the Fed meeting as the S&P did, and it's been uptrending, quite frankly, for the past couple of weeks. And by the looks of it, there's a descending triangle forming here on the 5-day 5-minute. You guys can see if I zoom in. We're holding a base support at 349. But we're making lower highs into that support. So for this week, I want to see, do we tank under 349? If so, if that does happen, we'll probably go slowly down to the low 340s, which I would not mind that, considering how overbought we are here on QQQ. But on the flip side, if we end up breaking out of the resistance of the descending triangle here, I would not be surprised if we broke out as well, maybe even going up to all-time highs again, as indicated by these little arrows here. That is the scenario, or the 2 scenarios, that I could see happening this week. And by the looks of the futures, they're moving up. So this is a sign that we're green right now. Keyword is right now. And if this lasts until the pre-market session tomorrow, and of course at market open, that could indicate a breakout. And let's go over the futures right now. The NASDAQ 100 futures, they're up 12 points, up 0.1%. Nothing too crazy, really, to be honest, guys. The S&P futures are also up 0.1%. We have the Dow futures up 0.15%. So they're all up between 0.1, 0.15%. And I'm more impressed with the silver and the gold futures. The gold futures are up 0.3% right now, and we have silver up about 0.5%. And you guys know, well, maybe the new viewers don't, and I'll tell you guys right now, I'm a believer in gold and silver. I like gold stocks. I have multiple gold, silver oriented stocks, and they don't make a huge portion of my portfolio, but those, along with oil stocks, make up, let's just put it as the inflationary hedge portion of my portfolio to keep it more balanced, right? I like having, of course, tech, growth, I like some value, and I also like to have inflationary hedge investments, because we are seeing a lot of inflation right now, and whether or not it's transitory, That's a big debate. I feel like it's not as transitory as the Fed likes to claim it is. In fact, I don't really believe that it is transitory. I feel like there is going to be, inflation here for the next couple, for a good amount of time. Let's just put it that way. I don't want to put a time period on it, but I'm feeling like it's not as transitory as they're claiming, and that's a whole different debate for a whole different video. But overall, I like gold, I like silver, and the futures pretty much all across the board are looking very, very good right now. And I'd love to know your thoughts. Let me know down below in the comments. What are you guys up to this week? I'd love to know. Are you buying? Are you selling? In terms of any specific stocks, ETFs, whatever, drop me a comment down below. And make sure you guys smash the like button if you all are enjoying the video so far. And with that being said, let's talk about some individual stocks. And number one, we have Micron, ticker symbol MU. This one up about 2% on Friday, broke above the 50 and the 180 SMAs. I believe that was on Friday here on the 4-hour chart, which is a very good sign that the trend is shifting. And we also broke out of the wedge here on the 4-hour chart, which is also another great sign that the trend is shifting. And I believe, they have earnings this week on the 30th. So what is that? On Wednesday. So 3 days from now, Sunday, when most of you guys are watching this video. And this stock is down about 15% from its recent all-time high. And by recent, I mean almost 3 months ago, back in the beginning of April is when we hit that. So this one was in a bear market for a little bit. It was right on the cusp of being in a bear market. And it's still down 15%. And if you guys didn't know, a bear market is when anything's above 20%, right? Down from a recent peak. So this one was hit. And could this be finally the time where it is pushing back up? I feel like it very well could be, especially with good earnings, EPS, guidance, forward guidance, all that good stuff. I'm going to be watching Micron, and I believe it's not quite yet out of the woods, and I don't have an alert. I just realized I'm going to set an alert at about $84, and if it breaks that point, that is where I feel like it's slowly going to start getting out of this, downwards trend that it's been in. And why 84, Stas? Why 84? Well, look at this. If I zoom in, 84 was that recent high from the middle of June, and we also struggled in the 84 range in the beginning of June, right? So I need to see bulls break out of here. I need to see momentum pick up above that 84 level, and quite frankly, we need to break 85 into the high 80s for the whole trend to shift, and it really comes down to the earnings report. Let's be honest, guys. So we're going to be watching Micron, and we're also going to be watching Tesla, which just came out. We just saw some bad news around Tesla, and I'll pull it up here on the live news tab. I'm not even sure if you guys can see this, but Tesla is recalling about 300,000 vehicles in China. And I'm not going to lie to you all, I didn't do a ton of research on this. Quite frankly, I was on the beach for pretty much all of this weekend, so I was slacking a little bit. But yeah, based on this headline, this is not the best news. We can also see it's 300,000 China-made vehicles to update its autopilot software. So will this impact the stock? I feel like it will. Probably in the short term. We might not see a crazy sell-off or anything, but volatility, yeah, I think we're going to see some volatility. And if you guys were in my Patreon, you saw how I literally exited my swing position. No joke. You guys in the Patreon know. I locked in my entire position of Tesla at roughly 697. I kid you not. And I always mention on this channel, you won't time the top. You won't time the bottom most of the time. But sometimes you will. And in this case, I did, and now we're selling off. We're at 669, and I believe if we do get a sell-off from this news from China, we break under, let's say, 660, which was support in the beginning of April, all throughout the beginning towards the middle of May. We're going to fill the gap down to the lower 600 range towards those moving averages here on the 4-hour chart. right around, I'm thinking 620, 625, and that is where I will re-enter Tesla as a swing position, right around the moving averages. So I timed this perfectly, and I'm not here, excuse me, guys. I'm not here, as I'm choking on my words, I'm not here to toot my own horn, but I'm just keeping it real, and this played out well for me. And again, if we pull back low 600s, that is where I'll be buying back in on my swing position. And the whole key as a swing trader, which that's mostly what I am, guys. I do some day trading and, of course, long-term investing. But when it comes to my trading activities, I'm mostly a shorter-term swing trader. The idea is, the goal is to lock in profits and to make money in and out when it comes to the swings of individual stocks, ETFs, whatever you're trading, right? And in my case, I'm mostly trading larger cap stocks. That's what I've done for years at this point. So, yeah, Tesla, watch out for those spots. And SOFI is another one, which I couldn't really find a catalyst as to why SOFI got obliterated, but it got obliterated, down 11.4%. That was on Friday, and it's opening up in my eyes as a pretty nice dip buy. It's currently down 27%, and what did we say earlier? Whenever a stock is down over 20% from its peak, well, it's in a bear market. So SOFI is officially in a bear market. And as of now, we're trading under, the keyword here is under the 180 SMA. We're oversold, and I want to see if I could pick this up if we retake the 180 SMA, break back over, let's say, $19.50. So I'm going to put an alert at that spot, 1950, and mind you, 1950 not only is the 180 SMA here on the 4-hour chart, but it was also a low point from the beginning of June. So that is now resistance, and it must break. And from there, I'm thinking we could see a SOFI pop back up towards the lower, maybe even mid-20 level. So watch out for SOFI. And Caterpillar is another one I'm looking at, ticker symbol CAT. And this took a big hit recently. I mean, and again, as a swing trader, we're looking to capitalize on these, shifts in trend or whatever. You guys know what I mean. And this went down from 246 down to about 206. So, wow, gosh, guys, I didn't even realize that almost got into a bear market as well. It lost 16% of its value. And for a stock that was up from 149 to 246 in a couple of months, that's good. That's good in my opinion. Nothing's always going to be moving up forever, and definitely we're going to be seeing pullbacks. So we got a nice healthy pullback on Caterpillar, and it looks like buyer stepped in at about 200, volume started kicking up, and we got to about 215. Now we're battling right around the 50 moving average here on the 4-hour chart. So I want to see if, and you guys can see we dropped about $3 on Friday. I want to see tomorrow and this whole week in general, do we start pushing up to test the highs from Thursday and Friday, right around 220, 222, and preferably I'd like to see those highs break. Do we break those highs? And that would be a great sign that buyers are pushing this higher, and there's a chance at least that we're going to go back to 230, 235, maybe into the $240 level. So as of now, Caterpillar is looking good. It's just simply seeing a pullback. And even on the 5-day, 5-minute, guys, you can see it rebounded, like I said, from 208 to 222 in a couple of days. That was a pretty big rebound. I mean, we're talking about 6%. So it pulled back 1.3% on Friday, but net from 6%, down 1.3% on Friday, we're still up like 4.5, 4.8%. So we're still up in the past couple of days. Now we just need to see if the trend continues. And like I said, we break back up and break out of the highs from Thursday and from Friday. So let me pull up my phone here to get the list. It just shut on my, there we go. And Uber is another one I'm looking at, right? Uber is one, UBER, that admittedly, it looks like it is a head and shoulder, which is a bit worrisome. I'm not going to lie to you guys. You guys can see here the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. This is all on the 180-day 4-hour chart. But on top of that, we're noticing the past couple of trading days we've been breaking out of the moving averages, both the 180 and the 50 SMA. And now we're about to test the high points stemming back from the beginning towards the middle of May. In fact, we're already breaking those high points. So I'm thinking there's a move here in store within the head and shoulder pattern up to the neckline. And what is a neckline? Well, think of your head. You got your head right here. Look at me, guys. My head's right here, right? My shoulders are right here, and this is my neckline. So the neckline on this chart is $55, right by the top of the left shoulder. So in this case, we're at $51. There's upside to $55 within the head and shoulder. That gives us about 7-8% from where we are now. And 55 is a key spot, 55, 56. If that's able to break, we might have upside to about 60. And at that point, the head and shoulder would be invalid. We'll scrap that pattern because we'd be breaking out of the neckline, right? If a head and shoulder were to play out, we would get rejected at the neckline and then boom, dumped down, in this case, back into the 40s, mid-low 40s. That would be the head and shoulder playing out, right? And Spotify, SPOT, is another one here that you can see a head and shoulder on the 3-year chart. Look at this. We have a left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder right here. If I draw out the neckline is at about $300. So right now, we've been rebounding for the past couple of weeks on Spotify, almost two, actually more like a month and a half. And we're noticing a golden cross as well here on the 4-hour chart. And the neckline is at about $300, like I said. And in the short term, yeah, guys, I think, sure, we're a little overbought on the 4-hour. We pull back a bit. But overall, in the short term, I'm thinking we make our way up to $300, which gives us anywhere from 10, 15, 20% upside, depending on, of course, where we do end up getting in. And that would be a play within the head and shoulder, very similar to what we saw there with Uber. And another thing worth mentioning is, yes, we are about to see resistance here on the 3-year, 1-week chart, right by the 50 moving average here. So I want to see a break, let's say 275, and that is where we'll probably, and I don't want to say for sure because nobody knows what's going to happen, but from there, 300, I'm thinking, is in the cards. And as always, guys, please do your own research. Don't buy or do anything based on my opinion in this video, because at the end of the day, guess what? It's my opinion. You know, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do. You must always do your own due diligence. It is vital because what's the saying? You know, teach a man how to fish. You feed him for a lifetime or whatever, or, you know, you give him a fish, you feed him for a day. I don't know. You guys know the saying. I don't know how to exactly say it in the right words, but that is what I'm trying to do here. So, yeah, watch out for Spotify, BBBY, Bed Bath & Beyond. This one's also worth watching. High short interest. It's reporting earnings this week on the 30th, same day as Micron. And look, it's down a good chunk, well in a bear market. It's down about 40% from the recent high at $48 per share. So very briefly here on BBBY, we're going to be watching a break out above the 50 moving average, which is where we closed under on Friday. So I want to see a break back above 30. And quite honestly, I'd want to see a break above the high from Thursday and Friday at about 32 per share. So I'm going to put an alert at 32 here on Bed Bath & Beyond. And the last couple of stocks here, they're a group of stocks. I like grouping these together because they've been moving in sync the past couple of months. The Chinese stocks, you know, Alibaba, JD, Baidu, these have been slammed, guys, slammed. And we notice how the trend is slowly shifting. Baba is breaking out of the 50 and the 180 SMA. We're breaking out of the wedge here on the 4-hour chart. And we went up 4.5% on Friday, which was one heck of a day. I can't even remember the last time Alibaba had a pretty strong day like that. So very good sign. And I want to see if this finally starts to push up into the mid 200s, 250. maybe even higher than that. So watch out for Baba. JD.com is another one. We talked about this on Friday, but I also want to touch on it in this video. This, I have an alert at $80. That is a peak from all the way stemming back from the end of April. Beginning of June, and just literally on Friday, and this also went up 4% on Friday, we struggled at about 78. So for this week, I want to see if we squeeze out of $80. If we don't, though, and we are overbought, so this could happen as well, we might pull back to the lower, more towards the mid $70 level, whether it's 74, 75, and we might get an entry there back up to about $78 to $80. So either way, JD looks strong, and Baidu also looks strong. Baidu is more of the pattern that is, looks more like the one Alibaba was showing. And it looks like we're trading out of the moving averages. We're breaking out of the wedge here. We're about to see a golden cross. So I want to see if Baidu finally starts to push back into the mid 230 level, or 200 level rather, mid 200s. Even higher, higher 200s eventually, right? So watch out for Baidu, JD, Alibaba. Let me run through the list again, guys, because I know some of you all like to write these down. Micron, Tesla, SOFI, Caterpillar, Uber, Spotify, Bed Bath & Beyond. Oh, I forgot. ARK, ARKK. This is another one I'm looking at. This is an ETF, obviously ran by Cathie Wood. We haven't talked about this in a while, but I feel like ARK is a bit overbought right now. Maybe we pull down to about 119, 120. We kiss the 50 SMA and then run right through 130. But the key level here is 130. So I'm going to set an alert right there. And why is it 130? Well, if you guys look at this chart, we have not broken 130 ever since the beginning of March. We struggled there once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, many times since the beginning of March. So we need to break 130. And at that point, who knows, guys, we could be filling the gap towards that 150 level. It is definitely possible. So, yeah, we're going to wrap it up here. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Are you buying any of these stocks? Are you selling anything? What are you doing in the markets? Let me know down below in the comments, and feel free to also check out my Patreon. If you guys want all my real-time moves, buys, sells, call outs, options, whatever I'm doing, everything is on Patreon. And if you're a top tier patron on there, I'm making a video literally every single morning pre-market talking about stocks I'm watching, movers, breakout stocks, earnings reports, breaking news, all that stuff. That's on Patreon, link down below. And you guys can get your 2 stocks from Webull. All you have to do is use my link, deposit $100, and we each get 2 stocks valued up to $1,600. And all of those, again, are linked down below. And with that being said, I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Keep crushing the markets. Good luck today or tomorrow, guys. Or, well, maybe today if you're trading futures. Good luck to you. And, yeah, I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.